from a packed Torrey Gymnasium. It is sectional time in boys basketball. And tonight we have a doozy on our hands between two of the top teams in the entire state in Class 3A outside of Chicago. It's the Metamora Redbirds taking on the Kankakee K's, live here from Torrey Gym and our CIProud.com Game of the Week. Glad you're with us here. Jonathan Michael alongside Gavin Russell. And Gavin, I mean, this atmosphere is just everything. This is what you look forward to for all 3-4 months of the regular season.
You could not ask for a better game in front of us here tonight. It's a rainy Tuesday, but everybody's packing this gym. I don't think there's going to be a seat left in the house. And John, this is the biggest capacity out of any 3A sectional site. Over 2,500 people will be packed in here tonight, and probably a few more. Couldn't ask for a better game in front of us.
The cell signal in here is just about jam-packed, so good luck for anyone trying to use their phones in here, maybe text you updates. Keep it tuned in right here, live and for free. Again, Clutch Sports Media's production. We've been busy in so many of these playoff games, Gavin. We saw girls super sectionals yesterday, boys super sectionals tonight, sectional title on Friday, girls state. I mean, this is just every day there is basketball. And I woke up today saying this one feels a little bit more special.
Yeah, this one definitely has some implications behind it. And I feel like just the aura of this game, if you will, definitely feels like it has the makings of being a special one. Recently at ClutchSportsOut.com, we've seen a number of overtime games, some thrilling games. We've seen some, buzzer-beating action. You name it, we've seen it. Clutch Sports and CIProud.com.
Yeah, Metamora Redbirds and the Kankakee K's, both regional champions. Gavin, let's start just briefly here before we send it to a quick break. What do you need to know about Metamora? What do you need to know about Kankakee? The Redbirds, a close win over Morton in the regional title. That was a big one.
Well, this goes without saying. Both teams are very, very talented, but they kind of play different styles of ball. If you're looking first at the Kankakee K's, 25-5 on the season. Really all their losses have come to schools from the 4A variety. They lost twice to Rich Township. Most of their games have been close this season. They're a team that's athletic. They love to run up and down the floor. They can hit threes with the best of them, but maybe a little bit streaky in that regard. They finish really well at the rim. As for Metamora, obviously they've been on a dynasty run the last several years. They've got really talented seniors, 27-6. They won the Mid-Illini Conference, arguably one of the best downstate conferences in big school basketball. Just a lot of talent both ways. There's Division I talent. There's plenty of guys heading to the next level. And it's senior all the way down to freshman. Both teams have a variety of different players that can get the job done.
1,000%. It is going to be a great one here from Washington. A packed Torrey Gym. Fans are still filing in. This capacity slightly over, I think, 2,000, maybe even 2,500, and there may not be any more seats when we come back here from a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Again, you're watching our CI Proud Game of the Week on Clutch Sports Media.
At Ham's Furniture, we have your comfortable, affordable recliners, mattresses, and more. And we offer free local delivery.
Hi, I'm Russ at Ham's Furniture, inviting you to stop in and see what's new today.
Ham's Furniture at 347 Court Street in downtown Pekin.
We are Local Union 649. Our commitment to safety, our state-of-the-art training facility, and our pride in the work we do to build America is what makes us stand out from the rest. We are Local 649 of the International Union of Operating Engineers, and we are looking for the next generation of equipment operating apprentices. With Local 649, you'll find more than a career. You'll find a family, creating legacies since 1917.
Welcome to Braskies. This is your home away from home. Food, drinks, music, and games all under one roof. So bring all your friends, bring the whole family, because we could all use a bit more Braskies.
And welcome back inside Torrey Gymnasium here in Washington, Illinois. Metamora and Kankakee, two state-ranked top 10 teams getting ready to do battle in the sectional semifinals. Getting ready here for tip-off and our starting lineups here in just a second. But Gavin, as you mentioned, this is just a marquee matchup. A lot of people around not just around here, but around the entire state have their eyes on this one. Should be a fun, fast-paced game. The K's like to run. Metamora's going to try and slow it down as we will take a quick break here for the national anthem, and we'll come right back and bring you to the starting lineups. Lots of great players about ready to take the floor here in Washington.
At this time, would everyone please rise, place your hand over your heart. Gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Who needs to crane your neck up at the wall when you bring Old Glory into the student section? Metamora students feeling patriotic here. We're all set to go here for some basketball. Jonathan Michael here alongside Gavin Russell in the booth. And Gavin, starting lineups coming out now. Let's start with Kankakee. They're starting 5. Lincoln Williams, Kanaz Jackson Jr., Jordan Davis, Meyer Thompson, Eli Stipp. The player we're all going to be watching for is Lincoln Williams, the #1 junior in the entire state of Illinois.
Yeah, if you're an Illinois Fighting Illini fan, this guy better be on your radar. He is really, really talented. He can get out there with the best of them. His best skills are penetrating towards the basket, scoring inside the three-point line. His shooting can get hot at times, but overall a little bit streaky, not quite polished at this point. So look for him to try to get the ball inside. But they've got a great supporting cast. They've got guys that can facilitate the ball well and a couple of guys that can get hot from beyond the arc.
Most definitely. Williams, Southland Conference Player of the Year. But also keep an eye on Meyer Thompson as well. He had some early foul trouble in the regional title game, but he was also an all-conference pick and a player that a lot of people are watching as an under-heralded player for the K's, so we'll have our eye on him. Metamora starting lineup just got announced. We'll bring you those starters now. Ashton Greaves, a 6'2 senior guard. Matthew Zobrist, 6'5 senior swingman. Colin Ramage, a 6'4 senior swingman. Jonah Funk, the 6'10 senior forward. And Brady Jones, Gavin, you alluded to the freshman. The freshman's getting the start. 6'5 freshman forward. He's been big this season.
Yeah, the class of 2028 is very, very bright for the Metamora Redbirds. And Brady Jones has just heated up quite a bit in these last probably 3 or 4 weeks. He's gone on some big three-point displays on Clutch Sports Al and CIProud.com, right in front of the bright lights of us. But they've got great seniors in the starting lineup. Of course, Zobrist and Funk, D1 talent. You like Ramage, and you like multiple players on this Metamora team. Greaves, there's still some of those remnants of that state final team from a couple of seasons ago. So 2 great ball clubs out here, a little bit of different styles, but they can come out and put out some fireworks, and I expect that for sure tonight.
Definitely. Zobrist, again, was on those 2 Metamora teams that made runs to state titles back 3 and 2 years ago. This is his final go, hoping that it's not his final high school game inside his rival's gym. Again, Metamora, this right down the road here from Washington. Short trip for them. Kankakee, a little bit of a longer drive, but there's a good amount of Case fans in here right below to our left that have made the drive as well. This has been a very special season for the Case. They're looking for their first sectional title, Gavin, since 1960. Almost hard to believe.
Very, very hard to believe. A little bit of a home game, if you will, for the Redbirds. But yeah, 2 great crowds and 2 great programs as we get tipped off.
Kankakee wins the tip. The bleachers over at Metamora student section begging for mercy as all the birds' nests jumping up and down on them. Here's Meyer Thompson, again, the 6-foot junior guard with it now. Going to be a hostile environment, especially for this first half for Kankakee, right in front of that very loud, blacked-out student section.
I expect Metamora to be a little better in the half-court sets, so look for Kankakee to capitalize the most on the fast break opportunities. Might start a little bit slow here as they figure Metamora out.
Here's Thompson kicking out. Here's a 3-ball all the way and good. Jordan Davis, pretty looking shot there from the senior.
If those threes are hitting, it's going to be a long night for Metamora. Kankakee would love to have a great shooting game from beyond the arc.
Metamora in their road blacks. Again, they're the behind the back pass from Zobrist to Greaves. Again, they're the underseeded team in this matchup, so they're the road team, even though they're located much closer. Funk turns around and slams it home.
Lots of emotion there from Jonah Funk, and I don't know if Kankakee was ready for the spin cycle. He just put him in, flushes it home. He can throw down some great dunks. It's going to be the Williams and the Funk show when it comes to dunks tonight. Dunk contest.
Williams has thrown down some monster slams. Here's the 3-ball on the way. Other end is good. Kanaz Jackson Jr. the answer.
Again, going to be a long night for Metamora. If they can't get out on the 3, might have to make some adjustments throughout this game.
Now here's Zobrist. Again, he's committed to Bradley right here in Peoria. Gives it off to Funk. He's guarded by Eli Stipp and turns it over, read like a book. Here's Jackson in transition. Stops, pops with Zobrist on him. Rebound. Kept in by Funk.
That's a big break for the Redbirds. A little bit careless on the pass. They're going to have to keep control of the ball tonight. They want a shot at this game.
Funk using his long arms to corral that one. Again, he's 6'10", tallest player on the floor. Eli Stipp, who's matched up with, 6'7". Got a 3-inch difference. Now Funk going to work, turning. A little bit double teamed, blocked by Stipp. And the senior forward letting him know about it. I think he just got teed up, Gavin. Wow.
Yeah, that's a really tough call. Obviously, we want to promote good sportsmanship here, but it's a lot of emotions going on. Funk had a lot to say after his dunk, and maybe would have liked to seen that one. I don't want to be Gene Steratore here, but, might have liked to see that one let go a little bit, as long as nothing way over the line was said. But nevertheless, Zobrist is going to get a couple of free throws.
So Zobrist will shoot free throws right in front of some very loudly stomping Kankakee cheerleaders. They made the trip here as well. I don't know if they're aware, Gavin, the corkboard underneath this floor, which is going to get redone here in a couple months, is on its way out. So they might be making it crumble a little bit more underneath there. Zobrist surprisingly misses both free throws.
Yeah, that's a very rare misses at the line for very talented shooter in Matthew Zobrist. Just trying to find the range again. But Redbirds get the ball back.
Inbound Funk going to work again. Slams it home past Stipp again.
Stipp being careful, doesn't want to pick up a second early foul after the technical. Stipp's going to hold his own in the paint, but it's going to be a big battle between him and Jonah Funk.
Kay's working again. They're in their home whites along with a shade of red and baby blue. Driving in and spinning, a travel there by Lincoln Williams. First time we've seen him really touch the ball tonight, and the Redbirds love that. Trying to make it a tough night for the junior. Now inbound it here, Kankakee showing a bit of pressure, but a very intense start to this one. Technical foul, 2 dunks, 2 big threes. I mean, this is just pulse-pounding hoops here. They feed in down low, Jake Walker the finish. Or that was Jones, rather.
Great finish there from Jones. And again, just a freshman. He plays a lot older than his grade suggests.
Part of a very talented young group for Metamora. They got him, they got Caden Turner, they got Cooper Koch's younger brother on the way. Williams tees up a 3 and it's too strong. Rebounded again by Jones, standing at 6'5".
Yeah, the Redbirds have some guys that are going to be a problem for years to come.
Zobrist turns it over, trying to get it to Funk in the post. Now here's Thompson driving in on Greaves and count the bucket. No foul. It looks like there. Greaves a bit shaken up. I was expecting to see a call, and there was not. So just 2 there for Kankakee, 8-6.
I like the no call personally. I think that, I'd like to see them let them play a little bit more physical, but I think Greaves caught a knee to the midsection there, maybe knocked the wind out of him a little bit. So looks like he's back good at going, but a great finish right there.
A big key for Metamora tonight, Gavin, I think is definitely going to be getting Ashton Greaves really going for Metamora. 16 in that regional title win against Morton, including some big threes in the fourth quarter. Funk on the perimeter, putting it on the deck, off the glass, no good. Rebound was tipped by Colin Ramage and back to the K's.
Kankakee would like to keep their foot on the gas pedal right here. Doing a good job staying patient, trying to break this Metamora zone.
Yeah, Metamora, I talked with Justin Dame, their head coach, after that win over Morton. He said the biggest key tonight is going to be make Kankakee play mid-Illini style of basketball. And maybe if you're not from around here, maybe you're a Kankakee fan, you wonder maybe what's that. As we get a 3-ball on the way, no good from Davis. Mid-Illini doesn't typically have many shootouts, a lot of defensive focused ball games. They're trying to make them slow down and not get out in transition, as you mentioned.
Yeah, a lot of veteran coaches in the Mid-Illini, and, they like to slow it down, pick the pace a little bit. As Zobrist off the glass there. So far, I think Metamora's done a good job controlling the pace.
Driving in. Contact on Funk and the bucket. Jordan Davis will head to the line with a chance for another one.
What body control just to get up there. Funk came over a little bit late on that contact, couldn't quite get straight up. Just kind of levitated in the air to put that layup in and one.
So 10-6 remains the score. Kankakee out in front. 5 minutes have gone by in this one. About 3 minutes left to go. So packed in here, our clock cam was obstructed there for a minute. Zobrist recoils the tipped pass. Driving in, Colin Ramage gets fouled. Nice aggressiveness there for the senior, who not is really the first person you think about when you think about Metamora, but again, can be a big factor.
Certainly, and you got to have those, kind of role players. You got to have those supporting casts. Those guys are, can be the difference between a win and a loss a lot of times. They'd like to capitalize as he does on that first free throw.
And that makes it 10-7. Ramage dropping in his first point of this one. Ramage, a 6'4" senior. This is his first and only year starting. Knocks him down both. It's 10-8 as the Redbirds fans clap their pleasure. Lots of them here out in full force tonight. Yeah, Metamora no stranger to playing in packed gyms. Their home gym, Tepke Gym. It's not the biggest one, but it's fun. It gets really loud in there. They're used to playing in games like these.
No doubt about that. And again, you've had guys, anybody returning from the last couple of seasons knows what it's like to play in state or sectional level basketball, playing in Pontiac last year against Richwoods. They've been in these environments.
Deep three on the way, bang! Jordan Davis, he was born to shoot.
Yeah, and we were talking about Lincoln Williams, but he hasn't even really done anything so far. They're saving him for later in the ball game and letting the rest of the K's go to work as Davis knocks down another three.
Davis has now matched Metamora's team total. He's got 8. Funk going to work, and he traveled. Good defense there from Eli Stipp, who, again, drew that technical early on, but overall, I think you got to be impressed with how he's defended against Funk. Aside from, I guess those 2 dunks to start off this game.
Yes, Funk's a little more athletic. He can make the move. He's not going to go through you. He's going to try to go around you. What Stipp maybe gives up on a few inches, definitely I think has a few pounds. So it's kind of the speed and the athleticism versus the strength there of Stipp.
Here's Williams in the corner again, still looking for his first bucket. Hands it off. Kanaz Jackson drains it. That's his first bucket. 4 different Ks have scored. Zobrist still looking for his first bucket. Back to your point, Gavin.
No, just a lot of different guys getting involved, a lot of good ball movement.
Greaves, top of the key. He got it. Nothing but net for Ashton Greaves. That's a good sign if you're a Metamora.
Yeah, when Ashton Greaves is on, typically Metamora is having a better game, so they'd love to get all their seniors involved tonight.
His grandfather, Danny Greaves, was the head coach for Metamora, and back in both of their state title runs, he handed off the reins to Justin Dame, former assistant. 3-ball on the way, too strong, rebounded by Jones. Surprisingly, Gavin, Danny Greaves makes it a point to get to about every Metamora game he can, but he was not at Friday's game, and he had a hip surgery that night and still recovering. Not sure if he's here in the gym tonight, but if he's not, he's tuning in. Danny, we hope you're doing well. That one is poked out, or rather, no, a foul on Kankakee. That will be number 3 for them this quarter. And it goes on Williams.
Danny Greaves, good friend of the program, great coach. Speedy recovery. Hope to see him back out soon.
Most definitely hoping, at least he's hoping, that Metamora can make a deep run. Zobrist befuddled by that turnover there. They said he carried it. Shows them, hey, this is what I did, and it's not a carry, but Stripes think otherwise. It's K's ball with 38 to play, Gavin. Knowing this K's team, or at least seeing them in this first quarter, I wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe get a 2-for-1, but maybe they're going to slow it down.
Yeah, I think, again, Coach Dame says, they want to make them play middle line ball. I guess they're adapting well, and I think that, as you can see here, they're going to wait on this last shot, and they've got the lead. If you can make it any better, good for the K's. But, Metamora's hanging around. There's still a lot left to go in this ball game, and just got to keep it close if you're both of these sides.
Here's a 3-ball on the way, banked in from Meyer Thompson. Just seconds remaining, Zobrist puts it up. Oh, it was on a good line, but just a bit too short. Meyer Thompson, the bank is open, and the 3-point land is open for the K's. They lead at 18-11 after 1. We'll step aside and be right back in our CI Proud Game of the Week.
Sweep-A-Lot takes care of your pavement sweeping needs for your parking lot or landscape. Sweep-A-Lot is backed by Purdue Pavement Solutions, trusted for paving, sweeping, and parking lot maintenance.
The Bob Grimm way starts with us.
The Bob Grimm experience, what I like is that, you put customers first, make sure we meet every expectation and make a long-lasting relationship with them so that, they know that we're here for them and for their friends and family.
Don't try to put someone in a car that is not going to work for them. If you don't have what they want, try to get it, the proper vehicle. Again, just treat people the way you'd want to be treated and a fair deal.
That's the Bob Grimm way.
Hi, I'm Jim Arnold with Wayne Dalton Sales and Service. Improve the curb appeal of your biggest investment, your home, with a new Wayne Dalton garage door. Or for repairs on your existing door, call us for service even on Saturdays. Wayne Dalton Sales and Service. It's in the name because it's what we do.
Welcome back inside Torrey Gym in our WMBD Game of the Week here on CIProud.com, powered by Clutch Sports Media. Glad you're with us. But a great game to tune into on a great night for basketball here in Illinois. It's Metamora ball. They inbound it. They trailed by 7. Gavin, looking for more out of Matthew Zobrist. He's still looking for his first score.
Yeah, hasn't gotten a lot done, but there's Ashton Greaves once again, and he started heating up late in the quarter. Starts off red hot, another 3 for number 1.
Kankakee has established themselves, I think, as maybe the superior shooting team so far, but Metamora can definitely shoot threes with the best of them as well. Here's a drive and a one-handed floater. Davis wanted the foul, and Metamora's going to let him know that one was an air ball.
Definitely a bit of a miscue there, and gives Metamora a good opportunity to have another fast start here in this second quarter.
They feed Zobrist in the post. Going to work on Stipp, but can't get the roll. Sometimes when you're 6'10", the angles work against you. The ball is almost too high up to go back down and in.
Yeah, never been that tall, John, but I'd imagine it's a whole different ball game when you're about 10 inches taller than I am.
Here's a 3-ball on the way for Williams. Can't get the friendly roll. Ball is 50-50 for the rebound. A down Redbird. Greaves is held back up by his teammate Colin Ramage. Here's Zobrist getting a screen. Stepping back. Now over to Ramage. Funk has been getting lots of post touches. He'll turn around and shoot. Comes up well short for the South Dakota commit.
And Stipp's defense has been good, but on that last offensive possession, I think he could have gotten an offensive rebound. But like to see the K's try and crash the glass a little bit harder, get some extra possessions.
Davis, nice kick. Williams coming down the lane. Oh, I brought the peanut butter and he brought the jelly. Lincoln Williams, what a layup.
He's going to beat you with that length. Again, maybe not the best shooter at this point in his career, but he can really score in the painted area.
Williams at 31 in that regional title win against Sterling. Here's Zobrist from way out. Glorified pass to Ashton Greaves.
Ashton Greaves, senior leader. You got a few seniors. Any of them can step up and take charge, and keeping them around in this one.
Greaves and Zobrist, the only two players that were on both of Metamora's championship teams. Here's a drive and a layup no good from Meyer Thompson as he came crashing to the ground. Zobrist takes it the other way as Metamora tries to make it a one-score game. They trailed most of the way against Morton. And again, got those big buckets from Greaves to eventually tie and then win it in overtime. One-hander is good for Zobrist. There's his first.
I think for Zobrist, he kind of just needed to, find the bottom of the net, see one go through, and spark his confidence as Metamora is within 2.
And a good response from the Redbirds, who were on the receiving end of some deep threes from the K's early on. Crowd getting back into it. K's slowing it down. I like this tempo. They've shown they can play fast, but they can also, again, slow it down too. I'm sure they probably practice these slower half-court sets. As we do baseline J all the way around and no good from Jackson.
Yeah, a lot of movement around the perimeter and just kind of waiting for the shot. Just didn't fall that time.
Zobrist faces some tough D here from Jordan Davis, who's been big on the offensive end with 8 points so far. So has this fella, Ashton Greaves. He's driving, trying to find some space, turns it over. Here comes Kankakee in transition. Layup good from Davis.
And the turnovers have been the biggest difference really for Kankakee. They forced a few big stops via the turnover and now a couple of scores. So something Metamora really is going to have to clean up to try and win this ball game.
And Kankakee's head coach, Chris Pickett, in his 7th year, said that this team, they just got to have the attention to details. I'd say overall been a pretty clean game from the K's so far. Haven't fouled too often. They've had good fundamentals early on. Here's Funk going to work on Stipp through the contact. Stipp throws his hands up in the air. And that's number 2 on him. Halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, tough call to get Stipp's second foul right there. As Metamora keeps just kind of inching closer. Big free throw right here from Jonah Funk. As Stipp will probably sit for most, if not all, the rest of this half.
And that may really open things up for Funk. Again, 6'10". Look at that Kankakee's lineup. Again, on the floor, they got the 6'3" senior guard, Keyshawn Wade. First time we've called his name tonight, alongside the 6' Thompson, 6'2" Davis, and the 6'6" Williams. So we may see a little Williams-Funk matchup in the paint. Still waiting for the 5th K to come on the floor as we get a brief stoppage. It looks like someone's getting cleaned up there in the corner by one of the trainers.
Yeah, I don't know if there's some blood or something else got on the jersey, but
that was Knaz Jackson, the 6'3" senior. So he comes back out, and Funk will shoot one.
And Kankakee definitely undersized now, with Funk being on the floor kind of as the lone big man. So we'll see if they switch their defense up. Maybe they look for their own sort of zone look, as now they're only leading by 1.
And Funk, in case you're just tuning in or maybe haven't seen him play before, he's not just your typical post guy. He can also shoot the 3 as well. He does make a living down near the post. But can't stretch the floor like the modern big men today. Deep 3, you got it. Jordan Davis, boy, don't play with him.
13 points for Jordan Davis. The senior really stepping it up in this game, taking charge, and just an absolute ball game so far from Davis.
Back to a 4-point advantage, so the 3-point play for Funk puts Metamora right back where they were in the end. Funk battling with Wade in the post. They'll try and get it to him, and a foul there on the K's. So hard to do when you're outmatched by about 7 inches as Wade was there.
Yeah, he's trying to get in front of him, trying to do everything he possibly can. There's really not much there that you can do, but Funk just staying in front. Again, he's very agile, he's very quick, and obviously quite a bit taller.
And a takeaway by Wade. Here comes Kankakee. 2-on-1, layup and one. Meyer Thompson. Kankakee gets out, transition again. Good things happen.
It's been the Davis and Thompson show so far. Davis and Thompson have been the biggest reason for Kankakee being in front so far. They're just putting the team on their back right now. And in the postseason, John, that's what you got to do. Sometimes it's not just one player throughout the whole postseason. Sometimes it's just one game to the next. Somebody's got to step up.
Most definitely. And we've seen it in teams, like the two girls teams around here in the area that clinched state berths yesterday, Washington and Peoria Notre Dame. They both could have probably four people that could score 20 on any given night. And the same goes for Kankakee. They are very deep. It's not just Lincoln Williams as the lead is back up to a football score, 28-21. Another turnover. Williams lays it in. Justin Dame senses a little bit of panic and calls timeout here with 2:50 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, a couple of back-to-back turnovers sparks a real quick 8-0 run from the K's and definitely finding some energy.
Well, I got a quick break. Want to again remind you about Clutch Sports Media Overtime. You can follow your school and the stories that you care about. Plenty of content written coming your way for the rest of the basketball season. Our John Camosa will be here tomorrow covering Peoria High and LaSalle, Peru. I'm sure we'll have some coverage from Friday's title game. Everything Central Illinois sports around Peoria, Bloomington Normal. We got it covered on CSM Overtime. Subscribe today at the QR code there on your screen or on the front page of our website. You can find out more on clutchsportsil.com. And the winner of this one will face Peoria High and LaSalle, Peru. That game is tomorrow. And I think the winner of this game has a bit of advantage because they get 2 days to rest and prepare, whereas the winner of tomorrow's game only has one. It's kind of a topic that's drawing a bit of controversy as Zobrist turns it over.
Williams will slow it down. Big opportunity as Kankakee's just started gaining this momentum in droves. Again, on an 8-0 run right now. It all came within about a minute.
They did strike quick. Now they'll slow things down. Thompson feeding over Williams. Kankakee has not turned the ball over hardly at all today. At least via steals. Drive and kick. Thompson over. Jackson, three. Too strong. Rebound goes to Jake Walker. Case fans wanted a foul.
That's a big stop for Metamora. They really need to get a bucket back here to try and just kind of stem the tide of what Kankakee's been doing.
Stay tuned at halftime. We'll take you all the way around the state and look at some scores from not only just around here, but around all of the land of Lincoln. Offensive board for the Redbirds gives it back to Funk, who again only has 2 points so far. Kicks it over. Greaves the hot hand and stays hot. 11 points for Ashton Greaves, picking up right where he left off last week.
Greaves has really been going. That's his third three of the ball game. He's up to 11 points. So each team, again, has to have a player to step up, be big time, be clutch. And so far, it's been Ashton Greaves for the Metamora Redbirds.
You know what they say, we love clutch plays over at Clutch Sports Media. A lot of clutch players we've seen so far just today. Still plenty more basketball to come. Davis and Thompson will play catch at the top of the key. A little bit of a 2-3 look for Metamora here.
I think they're totally content to just pass this one around for as long as they want.
And why not? You're feeling pretty good about this first half here of the K's. You've overcome a approximately hour and a half, 2-hour road trip. You lead by 6. You've been shooting the ball well so far. Metamora, though, has been right there with an answer about every time as you hear what Metamora thinks. They say it's boring. Now we'll get a drive. In from Davis. Shot was altered. Greaves picks up the board and finds Funk back to Zobrist.
And I think arguably Ashton Greaves not arguably, really almost definitely has been the MVP for Metamora. He's getting steals, rebounds, you name it, he has been there.
He's got 11 points so far. Again, Jordan Davis with 13 in the first half for Kankakee. Under 10 to play. Here's Jones trying to find Zobrist. He can create his own shot with the best of them and comes up short there, but he can drain those. It's 30-24 Kankakee at the break. This is phenomenal basketball, Gavin Russell.
What a wild ride there in that first half. We saw a little bit of everything, John. What a fast start. I think it slowed down a little bit, but big plays both ways. And a 6-point game, that is nothing for Metamora. Probably doesn't feel like that much for Kankakee. So both teams want to come out and play a really good second half, and I'm expecting nothing less.
Real quick, Gavin, something we didn't talk about in the first half, Kankakee, the highest scoring Class 3A team in the state. They average over 70 points per game. Metamora holds them to 30. Overall, you're feeling not too bad if you're Metamora. Some turnovers to clean up here or there, but overall a solid defensive effort. Just you can't let the K's bury you from three in that second half.
Yeah, I mean, they really did a much better job defending the three-point line. 4 3-point makes in the first quarter for Kankakee, just 1 in the second quarter. So whatever the adjustment was there for Justin Dame and his staff was clearly beneficial. They just have to find a little more rhythm offensively, and they got to hold on to the ball. You know, turnovers have been pretty much the biggest detriment. Otherwise, we'd probably see about a tie ball game without the turnovers.
I would agree with that as well. It's been a great first half of action. We'll step aside for a quick word for our sponsors to help make tonight's broadcast possible. Again, live and for free on CIProud.com. This is our WMBD Game of the Week. We'll be right back with plenty to talk about at halftime right after this.
Trade up to a better future. Trade up to a job you enjoy. Trade up to trade school. At Midwest Technical Institute, you get the skills you need to start a career that moves you up in life towards your goals, your passions, and your dreams. Choose from programs including welding, HVAC, medical and dental assisting, medical coding, and more. Earn the experience, knowledge, and confidence to change your life. Trade school is just the beginning. Start your journey today at midwesttech.edu.
Take the hassle out of pavement restoration with Purdue Pavement Solutions. Whether seal coating, crack sealing, or parking lot repair. And now featuring pavement sweeping. For professional quality pavement craftsmanship, trust Purdue Pavement Solutions.
The heart of Illinois needs volunteers, and you can make a difference. Be part of a global community of people who care. Discover the joy and satisfaction that comes with improving your community and the lives of the people living in it. United Way connects volunteers who are ready to work with opportunities in the local area, driving real change made by individuals like you. Join United Way in improving the lives and communities around us all. Sign up today at volunteer.hoiunitedway.org.
A lost smile is never truly lost.
Many of the patients come in and they're usually trying to cover up the way their teeth look. And when you take them from that, they just come in with a whole different person.
Dentures par excellence, restoring lost smiles.
Meadows Avenue Tap. Slots powered by Gold Rush Gaming, the gold standard in video gaming. Lunch service starting at 11. Meadows Avenue Tap. Discreet gaming, great food, great friends. Our customers won over 60 million lifetime. Meadows Avenue Tap, East Peoria.
Sam Lehman-Morton, the #1 Ram truck dealer in Illinois and the largest Ram dealer in the Midwest. It's our annual President's Day sales event. This month, take 20% off all remaining 2024 Jeep Wranglers, or save over $16,000 on a 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn when financing through Stellantis. Plus, enjoy a new Jeep Grand Cherokee for only $35,000. Don't miss the President's Day sales event at Sam Lehman-Morton, where we do the deals no one else will.
Hi, I'm Jim Arnold with Wayne Dalton Sales and Service. Improve the curb appeal of your biggest investment, your home, with a new Wayne Dalton garage door. Or for repairs on your existing door, call us for service even on Saturdays. Wayne Dalton Sales and Service. It's in the name because it's what we do.
That mountain of boxes won't pack itself, but Peoria Production Solutions will. Let us handle your packaging and assembly. Our highly trained team uses computerized inventory control and specialized equipment to ensure your customers receive their items on time. Let us help you grow and scale your business. Give us a call or visit peoriapros.com for a quote today.
Welcome back inside Torrey Gym. It's tough to see who that fella there in the orange is. A lot of people walking around, packed house here, but trust us, when we say that is Brad Underwood. Head coach of Illinois Illini men's basketball team is in the house here tonight, assumingly to watch Lincoln Williams, his prize recruit. He's got an offer there from Illinois, and Brad making the trip up from Champaign. A lot of people noticed that. Very cool thing.
Yeah, I noticed as soon as he turned around. I can't confirm that is the Brad Underwood.
Now you might be able to see him. You can see the side of his face. He's been here in Washington multiple times for the Tournament of Champions as well.
Indeed. He usually sits on the other side, so I was looking for him over there. He wasn't there. Figured he wouldn't be here, but nevertheless, he slips in, getting a few photo ops with some Illini fans coming through, and yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, I think the Illini men's basketball, women's basketball, football programs specifically have really emphasized, you know, recruiting within the state. And any time that, you know, a big-time recruit comes within a couple hours of Champaign, they're definitely going to go and try and catch a game, especially in the playoffs, you know, in big situations, and Lincoln Williams is no different. So Underwood would love to grab a commit from one of the most talented juniors in the country. And he's watching a good show here tonight between two great ball clubs.
And credit to Brad for, you know, being nice enough to take some pictures. Always very welcoming whenever he's here in Washington. Understands a lot of people want to meet him, and he's always nice enough to take pictures. A lot of coaches sometimes could maybe say, hey, you know, don't bother me, leave me alone. They try maybe even have security, but it's nice that Brad is mingling with the fine folks here in Washington.
It's probably the good mood he's in after that big win against Michigan. You know, whatever your college loyalties lie, can't deny that was a big-time win for the Illini on the road.
Most definitely. We talked about, we'll give you some scores from around the area. Here's a big one tonight. Manual up 26-11 on Macomb in the second quarter. That's a rematch of last year's sectional title game, and the Rams are going to want revenge after they lost that one in the late moments. So a lot of people around Peoria, I think a lot of people around the state rooting for the Rams in that one.
No doubt, and definitely it was a bummer for Manual last year, but they brought a lot back, and you know, quite a few seniors and players that are, you know, special to the Rams program, and they'd love to go on a good run this year and kind of restore that legacy.
Some of those scores from around the area are Harvey Newcomb of Clutch Sports Media is at Normal Community's game against Rock Island. That's a big one in Class 4A. Normal Community leading that one 23-18. They're playing that one in Pekin, even though it's at the Collinsville sectional. There's always that one sectional semifinal that they always play in Central Illinois to make people avoid the drive down to Collinsville for two teams that aren't even really around there. But that is going to be a good one in Class 3A action. This is in the Brother Rice sectional, which the winner of this sectional here in Washington will face. Hillcrest leading Brother Rice, state ranked 31-28 at halftime right now. That is a big result. Not sure how much you follow Chicago area hoops, Gavin, but that is one to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, and I'm not quite as familiar as I am with Central Illinois, but I do know Brother Rice has been just about unstoppable this year. So can Hillcrest do the unthinkable? And that would have direct implications to the four teams at this sectional.
Hillcrest played Peoria High, who we'll see tomorrow on ClutchSportsIL.com. Again, we'll have a free live stream of that one earlier this year. Other scores we see right now in 3A, Crystal Lake South leads Sycamore 32-20. In Class 2A, Benton is up 10-8 on Bree Central. And no scores that we see at the moment in Class 1A, but we'll keep you posted with all of the relevant scores from around here. We'll take a quick break again here from Torrey Gym in Washington, Illinois, and come back with what promises to be a phenomenal second half here in our WMBD Game of the Week, powered by Clutch Sports Media.
Need an injury lawyer? Get a fighter. Get a street lawyer like Todd Strong. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty. He'll fight for your rights. Get Todd Strong. He fights like a street lawyer.
My name is Todd Strong, and I've been representing injury victims for over 25 years. I have a team of lawyers that also assist me in the handling of our cases that have aggressive passion to represent injury victims and get the best outcome possible.
Welcome to Braskies. This is your home away from home. First down to last call, we're serving up the good times. Food, drinks, music, and games all under one roof. At Braskies, you'll find what you're looking for.
Peoria Academy is offering exciting camp experiences this summer for children ages 5 to 14. Our general camp includes weekly swimming and field trips. 2-week specialized camps focus on athletics, fine arts, and STEAM, featuring basketball, golf, lacrosse, volleyball, culinary arts, and theater, and so much more. Come explore with us at the camps of Peoria Academy. Register at peoriaacademy.org.
At Ham's Furniture, we have your comfortable, affordable recliners, mattresses, and more. And we offer free local delivery.
Hi, I'm Russ at Ham's Furniture, inviting you to stop in and see what's new today.
Ham's Furniture at 347 Court Street in downtown Pekin.
Welcome back inside Torrey Gym here in Washington, Illinois. Wonderful crowd on hand. Again, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast, in case you missed it, this is the 3A sectional of the 8 being hosted this year. The gym with the largest capacity, and it is, I would say, about 90 to 95% full, Gavin. And this is the only time I see it this full is during the Tournament of Champions back at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, this is a very special venue and hosts a lot of great basketball. So naturally, I think a good location for this sectional semifinal. But it's a packed house, and it feels every bit of 110% full as the Birds' Nest fires up for the second half.
Yeah, we definitely want to thank Washington for being so hospitable to us all throughout the playoffs, both girls and boys. At AD Joe Allstat, one of the best in the business. And it's Kankakee starting with the ball. It's Jackson feeding off to Williams, who just had 4 points in the first half. Matthew Zobrist just had 2, so it's more been the complementary players for both sides. They try to get it into Stipp. He wasn't ready for it.
And immediately Metamora goes man-to-man to start out the second half and immediately forces a turnover. So maybe a big defensive switch there for the Redbirds.
I saw a little bit of zone from Metamora in that first half. We don't see a 3 there, but it was a good look from Brady Jones, a freshman. Couldn't get it to fall.
For a freshman, he looks very poised shooting that 3, so keep firing if you're Brady Jones.
Stipp fires from the elbow, and it's off the mark. Unlike Funk, Stipp says that I don't step outside of the arc too much. So he's more of a inside the paint guy, but he's been big so far. Zobrist dribbles it around, trying to get a screen from Greaves. Now they go back to Funk, working on Stipp. He's got 2 fouls. Stipp dumps it down. Wonderful pass down to Jones with a nice finish.
Those long arms just able to just kind of push the ball down, and a great find from Jonah Funk. Really, he embodies everything that the modern big man is. He can score inside, outside, and he can facilitate.
Credit him for the eyes to find Jones. Drive there, kick. Oh, they left Thompson open, and a rare miss. Stipp gets the air ball, feeds it in, and Thompson lays it in. Miscommunication there from Metamora. You got to put a body on Meyer Thompson.
That time doing a nice job finding the boards. I thought Stipp let a couple go early, but he gets back right there, big offensive board, and it leads to a score.
And another, Funk, a nice look down to Greaves, but threw it behind him. And another turnover for the Redbirds. Again, they've got to cut down on those a little bit here in the second half if they want a chance of coming back.
Yeah, especially those unforced turnovers. You know, again, you're going to have those moments where you have miscommunication, but this is the time of the season you really got to lock it all in, and everybody's got to be on the same page.
And this would be one of the biggest wins of the year for Kankakee. They had some good wins against Bloom Township, drive-in, the layup no good. Bloom the Blazing Trojans. They also beat Webster Groves out of Missouri, 72-52. That was a good win for them. They also beat Crete Monee twice. Aside from that, though, Kankakee hasn't played quite as tough as a schedule as some of these other 3A teams, but they're showing that it doesn't make a difference here tonight. Here's Davis. Now Thompson, and they feed it back into Stipp. Funk got in the air, and good timing there from Eli Stipp. That's his first bucket.
He may not step out beyond the arc, but what he does inside is really good. Stipp has been big offensively and defensively tonight.
Kankakee head coach Chris Pickett just said he is a grinder. Deep 3 from Zobrist. He hasn't been able to get it going. And he didn't really have his shot at least as much as he wanted it against Morton. 12 points in that one, and a good shot there from Meyer Thompson. He definitely has his shot tonight. Timeout called by the Redbirds. It's a 10-point lead.
Slowly but surely, Kankakee's just started to take control of this game here in the second half. Looked promising early for Metamora, but they just have not been able to be consistent enough to stay in this ballgame.
So while we got a quick timeout, on a note, Owen Dimple, our producer, very alert, says that tonight there's only been, I think, 6 fouls between these two teams here tonight. It's been a very clean, free-flowing game. And also, again, while we have a quick moment, I want to remind you again about CSM Overtime. Plenty of written coverage, both for the winter sports wrapping up, the spring sports coming your way. We'll have lots of basketball or baseball, softball previews, and all the other goodies that come with the spring sports right around the corner. But we still got some hoops to see here for the next 2 weeks or so. The road to Champaign will end in just under 2 weeks. We hope to be back down there again for the 4th straight year.
Central Illinois has treated us well with our boys and girls hoops. Love making us trip down to state.
Here's a layup, no good. Funk comes in and puts it down.
And every score is going to be key on all these possessions. Metamora's really got to start to turn it up, and the fans start to turn it up with them.
And the fans have been loud. It's been definite advantage Metamora. They've played better when their fans have gotten loud. The kick out. Jackson's triple. No good. You don't mind those possessions if you're Metamora.
No, this is a big time for them to capitalize. You just got to see something go through the net.
They'll feed Funk. He's been hungry tonight. Driving in. Pass step off the glass and in. Funk's got 11.
Funk and Greaves, they have been the 2 men tonight. Clearly, Kankakee has prioritized locking down Matthew Zobrist, which leaves other Redbirds open to get the job done.
And Zobrist is guarding Lincoln Williams, so the two stars kind of neutralizing each other here tonight. Here's a 3-ball. That one's no good from Jordan Davis. Metamora, a chance to get it down to as little as 3.
I think Zobrist is itching to get something as he takes it inside.
You can just tell in his eyes, even from up here in the booth. Funk feeds it to Zobrist. Another deep 3, no good. Tapped back out, back to Kankakee. 2-on-2, driving in. Funk lays off and lets Davis score. Funk's only got 1 foul. I thought maybe he might try and contest that one at least a little bit.
The clip, though, that Kankakee has been getting 3-point plays and the contact they've been able to fight through, Funk just didn't want to slow the game down and didn't want to get himself into foul trouble at all.
And Redbirds have been in this situation before. Greaves, a nice cut, lays it in after the ball takes a 360 trip around the rim and down.
Metamora in a manageable spot right now. 6 points is not insurmountable whatsoever, but you can't keep trading buckets. They got to get some stops.
And you can't let Meyer Thompson keep shooting. You can't let Eli Stipp keep getting offensive boards. He puts it back up and in. Stipp's got 4 in this third quarter.
And the 3-ball's pretty much gone away since the first quarter. So now Kankakee is really just starting to score in the paint.
And if you're Funk, again, you're 6'10", you got to play like it on the defensive end. Cutting in baseline is Ramage. He kicks out. 3-ball Jones, the freshman, comes up a bit short. Would have been a big one for Metamora, and now Kankakee can get it back to double figures. Davis kicks. What do you know? It's Stipp. And retreating is Thompson. Williams hasn't really even touched the ball that much, but he'll shoot here. That one's no good, and that time Funk brings in the miss. Stipp has been pesky, though. You see him bat in there trying to grab that board.
Yeah, he's a really special player. I think Stipp's one of those really underrated, just glue guys. You know, they make a lot of havoc for opposing teams.
Zobrist gets his screen from Ramage, now finds him. They got Funk open on the baseline. Skip pass and hard to handle. And out of bounds on Brady Jones. Could not catch that one like he's Randy Moss.
Not quite. Colin Ramage there with some good coaching, you know, some good leadership saying, hey, you got to cut to the basket. You know, don't be afraid to get in there, cut inside, and help him coach up the freshmen a little bit. And that's the kind of stuff that, you know, 2 or 3 seasons from now will make Brady Jones the star in a game like this.
Really excited to see the freshman's potential. Driving in, Williams, wild shot goes in. He's a scorer, and he'll get buckets to go like that. Again, Conference Player of the Year, the top junior in the entire state.
I think between his scoring on the paint and his defense, Brad Underwood should be plenty pleased what he sees tonight.
Funk trying to get big. Going up. No foul there. We still have not seen a foul in this third quarter, Gavin. We may go the entire length without one.
Really, it's been pretty clean. I mean, a little contact here and there, but the way it's been called both ways, not significant.
Wonderful move from Williams! Says, don't come in unless you knock, and slams it down.
What a dunk there from Williams, and just an exclamation point as they go up the full dozen.
Largest lead of the night for Kankakee on the biggest, most emphatic bucket of the night. Metamora needs a response here before the quarter ends. Who do they go to? Keep an eye on Zobrist. He's cutting baseline. Gets a screen from Funk. With 3, with 2, fadeaway shot. Oh, another one that almost went down, but it just has not been Zobrist's night. Lincoln Williams with 5 loud points before the break, and Kankakee is 8 minutes away from a sectional title berth. Right back after this in our WMBD Game of the Week.
Dentures themselves do not have to cause pain, but many times that's not the case. Dentures also should look natural and look nice. So the things that we do is try to make it look nice and make sure you're not uncomfortable.
Dentures par excellence, restoring lost smiles.
In 1957, Cyril and Lewis Keller invented the skid steer in Rothsay, Minnesota to make farming and agriculture work much easier. Since then, Bobcat has become an integrated and trustworthy household brand. Being the first to bring the mini excavator to North America, Bobcat revolutionized the industry with compact tractors, utility tractors, mowers, and other equipment. Quick and agile, Bobcat is one tough animal. Locally owned and operated since 2001 in Bloomington and Peoria, Illinois.
Meadows Avenue Tap, slots powered by Gold Rush Gaming, the gold standard in video gaming. Now serving breakfast Saturday and Sunday at 7. Meadows Avenue Tap, great breakfast, discreet gaming. Our customers have won over 60 million lifetime. Meadows Avenue Tap, East Peoria.
It is do or die time for the Metamora Redbirds in front of a large crowd trying to extend their season here at the Class 3A Washington Sectional. Jonathan Michael and Gavin Russell here in the booth with you. You picked a good one to watch tonight. We're glad you've tuned in. Redbirds trying to jump out of a 12-point deficit. Zobrist, there you go. There's his 3. First one of the ball game for the senior.
And you said do or die. I think that probably was the message in the huddle with Dame. You know, you just got to come out here and give it everything you got, trying to extend your season.
Now bring the Redbirds crowd back into it. Williams finds Kanaz Jackson. Shot rolls in all the way around.
Good defense, but better shot there from Jackson. And he had an early 3, went quiet, but a big shot there to start the 4th.
Beautiful pass. Funk to Greaves. He can't finish. That's what Metamora wants back, and Greaves dives in trying to atone for his mistake, get it back, and he'll get called for the foul.
I think it just slipped out of his hand a little bit. Obviously, a lot of bodies have hit the deck. Maybe some perspiration on the basketball. You never know. A tough break there for Ashton Greaves.
Gavin, this is one of the quickest moving games I have ever been at. We tipped off, again, right at shortly before 7 p.m. It's only 7:49. This one is going to be just timed out right around an hour unless maybe we force overtime. Stipp will shoot a 3. Well off the mark. Maybe you see why he stays in the post right there. Zobrist. No good, but the offensive board there for Greaves. Funk working on Stipp. It's been a great matchup, and his length gets it in.
Yeah, Stipp shooting that 3 on the other end, probably a bit of an ill-advised shot. That's not something he can make. You know, this game is not over yet. You know, Metamora has shown plenty of life over the last few years.
Driving in, turn around, Cedric Terrell Jr. gets it to go. Junior 5'9" guard off the bench knocks down his first shot. So now the Redbirds need a response. Again, probably feeling good. Greaves, 3 ball no good. Funk gets the board, puts it up, and gets fouled. I was going to say, though, the fact that Metamora played in such a tough regional may benefit them a bit here in this one. But again, you had an 11-point lead to make up here in under 6 minutes.
Yeah, big deficit, but you started getting a little more regularity. Matthew Zobrist found a bucket with the 3. Jonah Funk seems to be playing a little bit more aggressively, which they definitely need, and definitely some big free throws here at the line.
And this is for Funk to become the team's leading scorer right now. He drops in, he's got 14, Greaves with 13. Funk has definitely been the MVP for Metamora. The biggest key for the Redbirds right now, Gavin, I would say, is they have just got to get stops. They can get buckets. They got scorers. They got guys that can create. But you got to start getting some stops because it's been 1 step forward, 2 steps back as Funk goes 2 for 2.
Yeah, you know, it's not realistic to say that Kankakee's not going to score the rest of the fourth quarter. But if you can at least go a couple possessions getting a stop, even if you allow one here and there, you got to give yourselves a chance to get back in this game.
Kay's working it around. Driving in, Davis. Beautiful lay in the ball control to keep that one away from some hungry Redbirds and put it in.
And since the second quarter, Kankakee's only scored 1 3-pointer, so they've just been living and dying by shots inside the arc.
Zobrist driving in, kicking. Jones over to Ramage, a dangerous pass. Now they'll give it over to Greaves. Wide open, free throw line shot too strong, and Jones gets the miss. They'll feed Funk. One-hands it. Working on Sip. You gotta watch out for that double team behind you. Got a man open in the corner. And that's gonna be a held ball, or double dribble rather. Another unforced error there for the Redbirds. Maybe not unforced, but either way a turnover.
Yeah, Funk, I think could have just slipped it back to Ramage. He kind of just caught a man ball watching, and Ramage got wide open in the corner, but I'm not sure Funk ever saw him. Probably didn't hear him either. Pretty loud in this gym.
Ramage crouching like a tiger. Playing defense there on Jordan Davis. Case, a lot of dribble penetration. Good hands for the Redbirds. That was Greaves. Now you need a bucket here if you're Metamora. Just get this back to single digits. Hard screen set by Ramage. Zobrist feeds Greaves. Back over to Funk. Good ball movement. Funk comes up short. Gets the miss. Puts it up and lays it in.
You got to have that if you're Metamora, but again, we're about halfway home here in the fourth, so you got to make your chess move at some point. You don't want to wait too long to try and close the gap, and another nice feed.
Jordan Davis has been the man of the hour for Kankakee. 19 points for him, and he still is finding ways to get open. Fade away, Zobrist, no good. Again, yes, you get 1 or 2 of those threes for him to drop. It's maybe a different ball game. Davis drives in. They're going to call a foul on Funk. That is Metamora's, I believe, their first of the fourth quarter. I think their second.
We've seen very little fouling in this game, and no complaints from me. It's just been an entertaining game focused on the action, as it looks like Terrell will have a seat, and he's contributed some nice play coming off the bench tonight. Looks like it was a foul on the floor, though, so no shots. And again, the time just kind of bleeding away against Metamora as they're down 11.
So the K's will line all 4 up. They try and inbound. Davis, or Thompson rather, gives it over to Jackson in the backcourt. Now Davis will bring it up. Davis had just 9 points against Sterling in that regional title win. K's blew their way through their regional, winning by some big margins. 85-50 over Sterling, 78-38 over Pontiac. Davis drives in, feeds Stipp. Can't get the layup to go, but Funk commits the foul, and Stipp will get rewarded.
Just an excellent look there. Great passing all over the place. Meyer Thompson, really creating that play right there, getting inside, shoveling it off, and Thompson really definitely looking like a good case for maybe player of the game. He's going to have some competition with a couple others, but certainly in the running, he's had a great ball game.
Stipp comes up short on the first. And Stipp does most of his damage in between the blocks and near the hoop. Second free throw is good. He's got 5 points, but his impact has been much more than that. 12-point deficit for Metamora. They need a big bucket. Their fans have been quiet. Redbirds, again, just a few miles down the road, brought a lot of fans out. Making an offensive board. It's Brady Jones, feeds over, Greaves, second chance, got it. Kind of had second thoughts about that one. And they just left him wide open, and Ashton Greaves made him pay.
Ashton Greaves is just doing everything in his power to stay in this ball game. He's getting on the glass for some rebounds. You know, he's got 16 points to lead the team right now. Just fantastic effort from Ashton Greaves. Can't question any of the heart on Metamora. They've really been special tonight. Kankakee's just been a little better.
Quick score update again from R. Harvey Newcomb at Dottie Hawkins Gym in Pekin for Normal Community in Rock Island in Class 4A. Ironman leading the Rocks 42-29. It's a really good showing for Normal Community, and if they could hang on, they would face Quincy down in Collinsville for the sectional title. That would be a big, big game and the opportunity for Normal Community to knock out Quincy for the second straight year.
Yeah, that'd be huge for the Ironmen. Definitely going to be following along with them and seeing if they can keep representing Central Illinois at the 4A level, trying to knock off the Blue Devils in Collinsville once again.
Again, and you look at that Central Illinois versus Western Illinois matchup, and again, so far tonight, it has been all Central Illinois, as many expected. Manual again beating Macomb by a large margin. Rams look like, we could see them potentially down in Champaign. Again, we've been accustomed to seeing Metamora. They made it down there in 2022 and 2023. Lost to Richwoods and Lathan Somerville. Many remember him last year in the sectional title game, and a great game in Pontiac, I believe, that you were at, Gavin.
Indeed, I was with Owen Dimful. Kind of a crazy game getting there. There's a car accident on the way. We were running late, and boy, it just is March Madness.
That's not the madness you want in March.
Certainly not.
Kankakee has made plenty of madness for Metamora after draining a lot of threes in the first quarter. They've been really taking it in the paint, and Davis and Thompson have just been so creative with their shots. They're getting open layups, beautiful cuts from the K's all night. As we get a foul there on the Redbirds. I think that one will go on Ashton Greaves, number 3.
Yeah, I got to be careful with those fouls, but I think probably what Coach Dame is saying, get a little more aggressive, try and force some steals, even if it comes at the expense of some fouls. They'll probably have to play the foul game sooner rather than later.
K's dribble it back out. They're content to bleed some clock here. Now Davis will penetrate, and a foul there on Greaves. Gavin, before that foul, which I think might go on Ashton Greaves, the 2 players with 3 fouls for the Redbirds are not the ones you want. Ashton Greaves and Jonah Funk, who have combined for 33 of their 44 points tonight.
Yeah, but that one's going to go on Colin Ramage, so definitely catching a break there for the Redbirds. And now it's just going to come down to making free throws, which first one is missed. So, maybe Coach Dame's done a little scouting on the free throw shooting. Maybe one of the assistants has, and maybe they know that's not one of Kankakee's strong points. But Kankakee can really effectively win this game by hitting some foul shots, and he goes 0 for 2.
And they leave the door open, and a good board there from Funk. Metamora fans trying to egg their team onto a big bucket. Approaching 2 minutes to play here in Washington. Ramage thought about a 3. He hasn't shot yet tonight, to my knowledge. Funk, hands off. Zobrist trying to get it going. His 3 ball is good! Matthew Zobrist, in the do-or-die situation, says, I'll choose do.
He's been quiet most of the game, but he's coming alive when it matters most.
And a steal from Colin Ramage. Spins, lays it in. Colin Ramage. Timeout, Kankakee. You hear the crowd come to life, and that's just what the doctor ordered for the Metamora Redbirds.
Fire me up, John Michael. What a sequence right there. Zobrist just with the biggest three-pointer of the game. He didn't have any points in the first half, I believe. He had just 2 points in the first half, but a pair of triples in the fourth quarter. Really have sparked his team, and then Ramage, a veteran play right there to get the steal, catch a man napping, and a great finish. 4-point ball game. Fasten those seatbelts.
Metamora's seniors are playing like seniors. Greaves, Zobrist, Ramage, and Funk trying to extend their high school careers by at least another game. Metamora will bring some inbound pressure. Williams will trigger it for Kankakee. They've led by as many as 12. Trouble in the corner. They get it out to Thompson. Crosses the timeline. Now a 3-on-2. Kick over. Oh, it was in the hands. And Jones threw it off of Jackson. It's Metamora basketball. The Redbirds haven't said die yet.
And really, you think about it, just a few moments ago, a couple of free throws could have completely changed the feel of this one and the outcome that we're seeing right now. So what a great job by Metamora to capitalize on a couple of misses.
Can they keep the momentum going? Zobrist is with it. Maybe he's starting to feel it after that deep make. He'll drive in, and we'll get a foul on Keyshawn Wade. That is just the second on the case. I think that one was on the floor.
And right now, being up 2 possessions, you're fine with that if you're Kankakee. You know, time is going to be your friend here. You can afford to maybe foul once or twice if it takes them out of rhythm, as Lincoln Williams will get back guarding Zobrist. No foul play there. A couple of bumping bodies. Lots of emotion on that court.
Greaves will trigger the inbound. Keep an eye on him once he throws it in. And give it to Zobrist. He'll drive in. Driving on Williams. Turns around with one hand. Matthew Zobrist, the Bradley commit, has brought Metamora to within 2. Here come the Redbirds. Jackson crosses the timeline. Kankakee will get fouled by Colin Ramage. They seem content to play the foul game. And the earlier you start it, gives you more opportunities to come back. Cedric Terrell will head to the line.
You got to make them earn it. And, Kankakee has not shot a lot of neither side has shot many free throws tonight. Kankakee fresh off an 0 for 2 at the line. And they got everybody, almost everybody, screaming right now in Torrey Gym. Listen to this crowd.
First one is no good. Kays can't even hear themselves think right now. As long as Metamora gets the board, it'll be a 1-score game and they could tie it up. Second one's no good. Rebound Zobrist. He'll cross the timeline. Timeout called by Justin Dame. What a phenomenal job from Metamora. This team is built for March.
Some say they are built different, John. What an absolute comeback. They thought they were down and out. Double-digit lead for the K's. A couple of miscues by Kankakee, capitalized on by Matthew Zobrist and the Redbirds.
It started with those 2 missed free throws from Kanaz Jackson Jr., countered by a 3 on the other end from Zobrist. That got the crowd back into it. Then Ramage's play electrified this joint. Got Metamora to within 5, if I'm not mistaken. And now they have a chance to tie or take the lead with 49.8 to go, Gavin. This is the second time they've done this in as many games. They were down not quite as big to Morton, but they were trailing most of that one. Came back, forced overtime, and won. If this game goes to overtime, all the advantage goes to the Redbirds, but they might try to win this one in regulation.
Yeah, I think the best take here, though, especially given Kankakee's free throw shooting, you don't have to shoot in 5 seconds, John, but run your offense, try to get a shot up within 10, 15 seconds. Give yourself some time on the clock, even if you have to keep playing the foul game. Try to prolong this one as long as possible.
Ramage inbounds it to Funk. That's a good guy to go to. He gets double teamed, and we get a foul on Kankakee.
Not the worst thing in the world for the K's, because clearly has a size advantage there. You don't want Funk to beat you on an easy 2. Yep. They had a foul to give. They still have one more to give. So I think if they get in a precarious spot, definitely think about fouling Jonah Funk.
And Funk is such a matchup problem. Stipp is not on the floor right now for Kankakee, so Funk is the tallest player on the floor right now by 4 inches. He's matched up against Keyshawn Wade at 6'3", but Funk's in the corner. Zobrist will give it to Greaves. 45 seconds to play. Zobrist, tight defense by Wade. Driving in, lays it up, no good! Funk ties it! Funk has tied it! 53 all in Washington! But Kankakee has a chance to still win this with under 30 to play. This is electric! Illinois basketball at its best. Here's Thompson with under 15. Kankakee not calling timeout. Now they do with 9.1 to go. Jonah Funk, the South Dakota commit, slams it in. And we have a tie ball game in Washington. The Redbirds have made up 12 points in the span of about 4 minutes.
And as I look down to the court, Mr. Danny Greaves is here himself in the front row. No hip surgery can keep him away. Sporting that white hat and that gray Metamora pullover, and he watches a team that obviously he coached to some legendary moments. Continuing it on, his grandson Ashton Greaves doing a great job here tonight, but what a dunk by Jonah Funk. I mean, first of all, the heads-up play to crash the glass, and then to just put a man on a poster. Jonah Funk getting it done. It's going to be a really good 9.7 to finish regulation.
And there's Mr. Metamora himself, Danny Greaves. I bet he is so proud of this Redbirds team again. This is the first year he has been coaching them in quite some time. Justin Dame's first season, and they might be playing another game, but they need to get a defensive stop here with 9.1 to go. Stipp, Thompson, Davis, Jackson, Williams on the floor for Kankakee. Here we go. Thompson receives the inbound with 6, with 5. Funk with some defense, driving in, shot, no good! More basketball in Washington! And that's what everyone wanted. Kankakee wanting a foul call.
Hold on, John. There's some discussion here amongst the referees.
Maybe a goaltend?
No basket.
Overtime in Washington. The Redbirds live to fight another day. This is the best game that you will see in the state of Illinois tonight. Tell your friends and tell your family. Tune in, ciproud.com right now. What a matchup.
Electric factory right here in Torrey Gym. This gym is just a magnet for some of the best high school basketball you're going to find probably anywhere in the country. Doing it in front of a completely packed house. As you mentioned, nearly sold out. You got Division I coach Brad Underwood here. You got all the Metamora faithful, former coach Danny Greaves. You just got everybody out here tonight. We're glad you've joined us here on ciproud.com for what should be a great overtime.
Again, alongside Gavin Russell, I'm Jonathan Michael. I want to shout out our producer, Owen Dimple, and Kayla Hollowell on camera, all doing a fantastic job here tonight. We're so glad you're with us, and boy, you have tuned into a great game. And Metamora, down 12 in the final minutes, have come back to force overtime, and they have the major advantage right now going into this final frame. Kankakee are probably trying to pick themselves back up and say, hey, let's reset. You don't want to get down in the dumps or start thinking about, your errors. You got to get back and just play your game with 4 minutes left to play here.
All the momentum is for the team in black right now. Can Kankakee shift things back their direction?
Tip-off won by Metamora. And boy, even the smallest thing will elicit a Redbird roar. Here's Ramage up top. Everyone on the floor has made plays for Metamora at certain points in this one to help bring them back. Greaves will find it over to Funk. Stipp back in the game for Kankakee. Zobrist gets a screen from Funk and loses the handle. And Zobrist is starting to heat up. He's now got 10. Had just 2 for most of this one. Funk going to work on the 6-7 step. He gets fouled. That is Stip's 4th foul.
Yeah, that's why he was out of the game for the final couple of minutes for this exact scenario, but already picks up his 4th, and I surely would think that they're going to keep attacking him to try and completely knock him out of this ball game. Now it's on the heels Jonah Funk to get the Redbirds a lead, John. Can you believe it?
His first is good. Funk up to 20. The 6'10" senior forward headed to Vermillion, South Dakota to play for the Coyotes next year in the Summit League. Boy, do they get a good one. Second one is good for the transfer from El Paso Gridley. What a move that was before the season, and paying off for the Redbirds in their biggest game of the year so far. Lincoln Williams, the state's top junior, drives it in, flips it up, no good.
Kankakee's looking for a foul, but just kind of stepped through, not a lot there.
Zobrist, a one-handed pass out to Brady Jones. Freshman playing big minutes. Zobrist got fouled there by Davis. He can't believe it. And remember, Gavin, those fouls carry over from the 4th quarter. That's number 5 on the K's. It'll send Zobrist to the line. Timeout called by Kankakee.
Definitely demoralized right now. Kankakee just lost that energy that they had for probably 3/4 of the game, John. Just kind of letting it slip away. Certainly not over. You know, there's a lot that can happen as Metamora proved in their last couple of minutes of the 4th quarter, but they have, again, a large portion of this crowd is cheering for the team in black, and that is a really hard thing to overcome when you got a lot of support on your side.
I was trying to remember, I'll have to go back and watch this one after it's done, what the 12-point lead was, Gavin. Was it 52-40 at one point?
Yeah, I believe it was, but I think that Metamora had gotten it to 52-43. I believe it was a 9-point ball game.
Yeah, well, they were down 12 at one point.
Sure.
So either way, 52-43, I know that. It's a 12-1 run from the Redbirds in the last 5 or so minutes of this game. And again, you brought up a great point, Gavin. If you're the Redbirds, you can't make these same mistakes that Kankakee did, a.k.a. missing free throws, missing shots, and Zobrist knocks down the first.
He has been the definition of clutch in the 4th quarter, and now in overtime. Could put them up by 2 scores.
His second is up and good. Zobrist with 12. Jim comes alive again as Maier Thompson trying to focus through the din. Nearly picked off. A foul on Zobrist. An aggressive play there, trying to take it away from Williams, and Zobrist having a smile there as he lays on the hardwood. And it will be a bonus foul, and we'll send the case to the line.
Just Zobrist first, so nothing significant there, but this is the time for the K's star to really do something big here. Got to make some free throws. That really was then the overall demise of Kankakee there in that 4th quarter.
And that's why you got to make them, because even if you miss one, you don't know how that one could come up big. If they knock down even just one of those 2 or a couple that they missed, Kankakee might be on the bus by now at this point. Crowd comes alive again as Lincoln Williams steps to the line. First one is short. K's have gone ice cold from the stripe.
I believe that's their 5th consecutive miss, at least in the recent few minutes, from Kankakee.
Second one is also no good, but they get the offensive board. Backcourt violation. Stip's body was behind the line, and it's back to Redbird basketball. The K's just cannot catch a break.
Heads up play there from Jackson, but again, just can't get it done. What a tough break there for Kankakee, and Metamora could really put this thing close to the ice with a bucket here.
Again, still 2:46 left, which, again, this K's team can play fast. They can make this back up, so it's got to get something to switch the tide in this one. And Greaves turns it over. Maybe that's what you need. Again, you get a bucket here. You're only down 2. Still 2.5 to play. I think you definitely put the ball in the hands of Lincoln Williams here and see what he can do.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You just got to get 2 points. You know, just see something go through the hoop. Lots of time if you can get this to a 1-score game.
Thompson feeds Davis. He's been Kankakee's leading scorer. Reverse layup. Tough look is no good. Any reverse layup when Jonah Funk is a factor is mighty tough.
And Metamora is going to bleed clock now, trying to play to their advantage.
One would assume, but a good cut from Greaves. Driving in and scores! Greaves with 18. On the other end, layup no good. Kays can't buy a bucket in Washington. Metamora has won so many big games in the postseason, Gav. Now, we've seen just about all of them over the last 4 years. This might be one of the best, aside from maybe a state title win over Simeon, that I've ever seen them play in the postseason.
Wow. Is that a 19-0 run, John?
It is at least a 17-0 run. We knew it was, well, it was 52-43, right?
I believe it was 50.
Our Owen Dimple, our producer, says it was 53-41. Again, he's keeping track of the score
18-0
there.
run. Split the uprights.
So 53-41, 18-0 run. And it's involved 6 missed free throws from the Kays. Metamora getting almost every shot they put up to go down. A couple of fouls, a couple of free throws for the Redbirds, some turnovers. You can't understate that one from Colin Ramage after that 3-ball from Zobrist. Again, if you're Metamora, you control your own destiny now. Do not let it slip if you are the Redbirds.
And it was on the other side. You know, it was up to Kankakee to just finish the job, and they couldn't make the kill shot. So now it's back to Metamora, giving them a chance to do just that. And it's on the heels of Colin Ramage. Some huge free throws coming up right here.
Could make it a 3-score game, even with just one of them. 2 wouldn't be too shabby either. Ramage has got 4 points tonight, as the gym gets as quiet as it's been in about the last 15 minutes. First one is up and good. That's been the difference. Metamora's made their free throws, whereas Kankakee has not.
Just 2 made free throws in the game for Kankakee to many, many more from Metamora. Not for a lack of opportunities, just not converting.
Ramage will set for the second. Up and good. Nothing but net. 8-point lead, Redbirds in overtime. Quick drive and a layup there for Jordan Davis. What you need if you're the Kays. Redbirds inbound it to Ramage. They'll face a double team. Gets it up. Greaves over to Zobrist. They cross the timeline. No 10-second violation there.
Kays got a foul.
And might try and play for a turnover, but Redbirds have taken great care of the ball, and now you just sent one of the state's best seniors in Matthew Zobrist to the line. And how about the job that Zobrist has done? I mean, did not have it flat out for the first 3 quarters of this one. Shots weren't falling. It looked good, just they weren't finding the bottom of the barrel. But he has found a way, and that is what you need in the playoffs, Gavin Russell.
Oh, yeah, so much so. Again, as you mentioned, it just was not his night whatsoever for 3 quarters. But when he can do it when it matters most.
Second one, no good. Funk came in for the miss, but Lincoln Williams brings it in. 3-ball on the way. That would have been a big one for Kankakee, and it was missed by Davis. Those were dropping early in the game, but again, Kankakee, Gavin, I believe still just 1-3 since the second quarter.
Correct. Yeah, and indeed. And I don't know that was necessarily totally the game plan to do that, but they were getting a lot of opportunities on the inside and went away from the 3-ball. Maybe it hurts them late in the game. Not as familiar shooting the 3 on that end of the floor.
What a difference 7 minutes of game time can make, Gavin. About 3 or 4 minutes to go in the fourth. The Redbirds student section, I saw some surrender cobras. And now they're waving na 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 na. Hey, 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 goodbye. Now there's still 1:01 to go, but they're feeling mighty good after Funk makes it an 8-point lead. Unbelievable turnaround for Justin Dame and the Mid-Illini Conference champions. Second one rolls off. Williams from deep, too strong. Board back to Metamora. They've done a great job on the defensive boards, Gavin. Hardly any second chances, but Williams takes advantage of a miscue, slams it in. 6-point game with 53.2 to go. Unforced error there for the Redbirds.
And whether or not that cost the Redbirds in the final minute of this game, that's when you're going to look back. You just cannot have. If you're playing in the next round, the sectional title on Friday or Super, whatever it is, that's something that could beat you right there. So gotta play all these 53 seconds if you're Metamora. Kankakee is going to do everything they can. They're going to throw you the kitchen sink to try and salvage this game.
And again, after their regional title win over Sterling, our head coach Chris Pickett says, again, attention to detail is the most important thing for us. They cannot afford to miss a single detail in the final 53 seconds. That's how Metamora got back in this game. And they paid attention to details. They did the little things and got back in. K's are going to need almost a perfect 53 seconds to try and force a second overtime or leave with a win.
Yeah, partially that, and they're also going to have to get fortunate on a couple of Metamora misses from the free throw line or maybe a couple of turnovers. So it's going to be a combination of things. The odds are stacked against them, but let's see what they can do.
Real quick, final score from Pekin Normal Community. Moving on the sectional title, 54-44 over the Rock Island Rocks. Big downstate Class 4A matchup. This is an even bigger one. Zobrist, you want the ball in his hands, that's for sure.
Yeah, you got a foul.
Cross court over to Brady Jones. Now they'll give it to Ashton Greaves. K's trying for a jump, they got it. And that is going to be Kankakee basketball.
I think it was the right call, John.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't, not significant contact. They haven't called a lot in this game, and he got all ball to tie it up right there as they'll wipe some perspiration off the court. You have to have a basket here if you're Kankakee, and probably the three-point variety.
Now we get the Florida State war chant from the Redbird student section. They are on one right now. Intimidation level 100. K's working it around. Shot fake, three ball, Thompson no good. It was a good look, just didn't find the bottom of the net, and Zobrist gets fouled with 20.6 to go. If you're a college football 25 fan, Gavin, the stadium pulse has been in the red for the last about 7 to 8 minutes, and I think it's maybe gotten to the K's a little bit. Their shooting stroke hasn't been there what we saw in the first half.
Definitely rattled quite a bit, and just haven't been able to knock down those shots, especially from beyond the arc. And now a couple of free throws here could do the trick.
Zobrist comes up short. Zobrist drops in Metamora's 64th, not their 63rd. Three ball up and good from Kanaz Jackson. Makes it a 4-point game, 15.2. Again, this game's still not over, Gavin. I think the easiest path, though, is through getting a turnover, because even if you do get one, then you foul, they score two, you're down 6 again. The pathways are slim, but again, anything can happen. We are in March, no longer in February anymore.
Yeah, it's got to be a foul, or rather a steal off the inbounds where you're taking little to no time off the clock. Now, Kankakee has no timeouts left, so on a made basket by the K's, they cannot stop the clock. So
yeah,
that is a significant point to note. But if they can't get the steal, you got to foul pretty much immediately, and you can't let more than a second or two go off.
K's, what they were hoping would be a dream season, maybe their first sectional title since 1960s on life support. They almost got the turnover, but Kanaz Jackson, the ball deflects off of his fingertips and into the K's bench.
I think if he wouldn't have done anything, Brady Jones wasn't looking for it. Redbirds catch a major break right there.
So Greaves inbounds it to Ramage. He'll pass it over to Zobrist. Now over to Greaves. Clock running out, and they foul Greaves with 7.5 to go. It is going to take a miracle at this point. And especially if Greaves can knock down one of them, that would assuredly make it a 2-score game. 4 points, you get a rare 4-point play, door's still open. But here's Ashton Greaves, comes up short. Legs got to be maybe a bit tired, being it's such an intense game so far.
But again, I think with the clock not being able to stop, Metamora just about has this one, even if Kankakee does make something.
You've got to sag back on defense. Do not foul on a 3 at all. The second one is good. Greaves across the 20-point threshold. And after being down by 12, Williams knocks it in. Time will expire. Hear the Redbird roar. They're playing for a sectional title. They call it March Madness for a reason. This game is why. 65-63, Metamora beats the odds and are victorious in Washington.
Basically speechless, John Michael. As you see them, they're going to celebrate
What a
hardcore
scene.
right there in midcourt on the rivals' floor of all things. But it wasn't the rivals' floor tonight. They got great home support. Metamora fans came out in droves, and they really willed them back to a major victory. What a comeback. One of the best comebacks we've seen on CIProud.com.
Unbelievable. The Redbirds have erased 2 fourth-quarter deficits in their last 2 games. They did it against the state-ranked Morton Potters to win a regional title. They do it against the number 3 team in the state, the Kankakee K's, and advance to the sectional title. After the win over Morton, the students chanted, "We want Kankakee." Some people said, "You don't want Kankakee." Now they chant, "We want Peoria."
Oh, that's a bold take right there.
That would be a big match. Now Peoria High still has work to do. Lions coaches here in attendance, getting some film here tonight. It's going to be
some players.
Yeah, some Lions fans here and players too as well. Peoria High takes on LaSalle Peru tomorrow right here on ClutchSportsIL.com and our YouTube channel. That will be a good one. But for now, the Redbirds will take a breather and get set. We will dive deeper in this game and just recap it all more when we come back. A quick break here first on CIProud.com.
This Severe Weather Preparedness Week, WMBD has got you covered. Get tips from your local weather authority on how to protect your home. Stay informed and keep your family safe. Stay ahead of the storm all this week on WMBD News at 5 and 6.
And the forecast calling for a 100% chance of a Metamora sectional title appearance for their 4th straight year. They fell in the sectional title last year, but they could make it back to state for the 3rd time in 4 seasons. The dream is still alive. And how can you doubt these Redbirds at this point, Gavin? I mean, this team is just infallible, ironclad, whatever you want to call them. This team, so resilient as they still are celebrating here on the floor of Torrey Gymnasium.
Yeah, 4 years in a row now, making at least to the sectional final. You go back to obviously their state runs, but last year made it to a sectional final, and they'd like to take it a step further than what they had last year. Obviously, remains to be seen who they'll run into. Seems like there's definitely decent potential there for Peoria High to be the team that they match up with. They seem to have a bit of a leg up over LaSalle Peru. We have to see how that one plays out, of course, but certainly it's going to be an excellent matchup on Friday, and you can never really count the Redbirds out. I mean, it's going to have to be pretty much certain for me to say that they're out of a game at this point. And just what resilience, that gives them so much motivation, so much momentum heading into Friday, plus an extra day of rest.
And so for the K's, to wrap things up for them, they finished the season 25-6, and they're hoping for their first sectional title since 1960. That's even before my dad was born, Gavin. But again, hats off, great season for the K's. I think they just learned the hard way that you got to come through for all 32 minutes in the playoffs. And they just kind of crumbled with about 3 or 4 minutes to play after they went up 12. Jordan Davis, though, very impressive tonight. 20 points for him. Lincoln Williams puts up 12 against some great defense from Matthew Zobrist. So he didn't maybe have the big point totals, but he was still very effective throughout it. Some big dunks and he is certainly going to be a guy that we'll have our eyes on, even though we're 2 hours away. Still such a great prospect, again, the top junior in the state. Meyer Thompson, added 12 points also for Kankakee. But I wonder, Gavin, maybe you look, hindsight's always 20/20, and maybe you try and shoot more threes if you're the case. You got to do this one over again because it was working for them early on.
Yeah, I think that they seem to let up a little bit, and you can go back and watch some film, and there's always going to be a million what ifs, John. But there's moments like where Stipp took a three-pointer, probably not the look that you wanted, not really within his game. He was great otherwise, but certainly maybe just a few kind of laxed plays here and there, a couple of turnovers and things. I think they just needed to play more of their game, whether that came via the three or not. I think Kankakee just let up off the gas pedal a little bit too early. Got to respect your opponent. Got to know who you're playing against. And Metamora saw the sliver of opening. They took it, and again, proving March is March. Anything can happen, and we saw it happen tonight.
Well, America's original March Madness is right here in Illinois, and we saw why tonight. Metamora moves to 28-6 again. Their leading scorers, Jonah Funk with 22. Phenomenal game for him, or 21, Gavin?
No, I was just going to make a point, not to cut you off there, but I was just looking at my score sheet. The only Redbirds that scored in the second half were seniors.
Wow.
So, they obviously didn't have the momentum. They were down at halftime, really even going into that fourth quarter. They were still trailing behind. You leave it to your seniors' hands. Big plays from Colin Ramage, Ashton Greaves, Jonah Funk, and Matthew Zobrist. Those four seniors really came through and just proving they got that veteran leadership and they got a little moxie in them to make something happen.
They 100% do. Ashton Greaves adds 20, Matthew Zobrist 13. Round out the Redbirds' leading scorers in this one. What a game from Torrey Gymnasium in Washington, and this week of basketball is just getting started here with Clutch Sports Media. Again, we'll have free live video coverage tomorrow of Peoria High taking on LaSalle Peru in the other sectional semifinal. Again, that game on ClutchSportsIL.com or our YouTube channel, Clutch Sports Media. We encourage you to tune in for that one. Should be a good one. We could have an all-Peoria sectional title game. If it's Peoria versus Metamora, we shall see. And then also on Thursday, we'll be down at Normal for Girls State P&D in Washington, live audio on ClutchSportsIL.com. We'll be back here at Washington on Friday, right here, same place, same time, CIProud.com for the sectional title game, and maybe even a girls' state title on Saturday. Going to be lots and lots of stuff coming your way. Stay tuned to our social media channels, Clutch Sports Media on Facebook and Instagram, Clutch Sports IL on Twitter, and also for more written coverage from all of the games, all this week's biggest games, CSM Overtime. Subscribe today, and we'll have plenty of stuff coming your way. But that about wraps it up from Washington. For all of our wonderful Clutch Sports Media crew, Kayla Hollowell doing a phenomenal job behind our camera, Owen Dimple behind the sticks, our producer, and alongside Gavin Russell, I'm Jonathan Michael, saying so long and good night. Redbirds live to see another day, 65-63. So long, folks. Have a great rest of your evening.